Load of ghost gear from Clean Planet UK. Thank you very much, Stephen Smith. A couple of weeks sorting, making it safe. Deep cleaning and chemicals. And these will form the basis of the picture frames for the central imagery. These sort of base boards we use for the backboard, and then the ends of the lobster pots, and then the rope for hanging them from the wall with the figure of eights and everything. So it's helping them keep marine life safe at the same time, so it's got a use value as well as an aesthetic value and a marine landscape theme rather than landscape. But we're just getting on with gardening as well, and now it's all gone backwards a few weeks or a month, but it'll all be worthwhile. So we're just documenting the unseen work, the cleaning, the boring part if you like, the working out in all weathers, and of course the divers will risk their lives going out into deep sea and scuba diving down and lifting up on ropes and things, back-breaking work. Save dolphins and seals from getting strangled by these that are lost by trawlers and fishermen, smaller boats that can't be helped. It's part of the job in storms and things. It's all part of the marine landscape. But just to reiterate, they will be industrially cleaned and soaked in sodium hypochlorite, a strong mixture, stirred up for a few days, hosed down, jet washed, denailed, and left to dry. I used to dry them under a swimming pool when I worked in a leisure centre as a maintenance worker, but them days are gone. I used to dry them in a few days. But this summer house will have to take a back step now until we've got rid of all this and got it all catalogued, sorted into colours, locations, from Southgate to Saltburn to Port Mulgrave and everything like that. This will be the theme. Some of this will be used in the summer house. Made out of doors, a backbone, and a two-sided smoking shelter, stroke little workshop for doing outdated woodwork and things. So it'll all come together hopefully in time for Open Studios with North Yorkshire Open Studio event in June, and then in November we'll be posting flyers all over the place and that. So hopefully this will all be dealt with long before then, and we can have a nice garden with some easels out and things like that. So that'll about do it for now. Oh, it won't fit on YouTube. So second stage, just to keep going on about site-specific selected found objects in the tables and everything. These have been through cleaning stage in the acid bath. Well, it's opposite to acid, it's a strong alkaline, but it does a better job. Like an ultra strong version of Domestos, if you can imagine that. And these colours come to life again. Apart from cleaning it, because you're trying to sell them as artwork and they're going into somebody's house, you don't want bugs in them. So we give them a good old soak, and then we jet wash them down and then leave them to dry. And we're quite meticulous about all the boring side, if you like. So, and then it doesn't matter if these get more verdigris, and I mean it's welcomed. You know, the old portholes and everything. They're just left out because we're running out of storage in the studio. So bits of rope and figure of eights in there. Everything's organised, and then when the visiting artists come and work alongside us, we can put our hands on everything straight away. So it's all coming together. There's Diane's attempt at the entrance to the sculpture, what's going to be the sculpture garden. Well, it's going to be like Port Mulgrave. If you've seen the videos that I've posted of Port Mulgrave, we did a field trip there. This is going to be a raised summer house, if you can imagine it, made out of Georgian doors and all recycled doors. Strengthened bottom, middle, painted the sky blue and strengthened again at the roof. And there's the ghost gear from this morning's delivery. And then we go out on a field trip and make the central imagery, the small oil painting, seascape. It's a location to be agreed between the group with French box easels, and we come back, do a bit more in the studio on the studio easels, and then we fabricate the frame to suit it. So we're looking for orange bits really, because it's mostly a blue seascape thing. We're looking for complementaries like oranges and marine coloured greens and things, and they come out, they're bleached in the chemicals. So these, for example, this hasn't been ground back yet. We get the grinder out and make it safe. So all these rusty spikes will be ground, cut off with a disc, a 2mm disc and little grinder, and then change this to a grinding disc and make them all smooth and shiny. And they go rusty again because we leave them outside for storage. But at least they're smooth and round and safe. That'll all be a net. Like I say about Port Mulgrave, it'll be done in a marine landscape theme. So it's hard to explain at the moment, but hopefully before summer, when the open studio event's happening, we'll be able to share that better and make it make sense instead of me rambling on. Right, yesterday's coming out. Well, it's been in for 2 days in the solution. Big fat mooring rope. So just a case of putting this into some water to soak. Bleach really nicely, that's just what we're after. Come back and jet wash this. That wants shot dosing down, so we'll have to get some hypo on it. So we'll order 20 litres more. Get stocked up. No else in there. So we'll just agitate this a bit. It's not an exact science, like. Just top that up a bit. Shot dose. Another shot dose. 20 litres that order. And leave that for a bit. Then hose it down, jet wash it, and that'll do. Yesterday's yield from Clean Planet UK, been through the deep cleaning process. Big fat mooring rope there, it's beautiful. Bleached in the chemicals, clean, deep clean. We do normal frames, just to keep saying. That's kind of like Clipchamp would have called that a ready-made. Look at complementary colours in that. It's all cleaned up, come beautiful and clean again. Ready for pegging. These just come out at jet wash area. So these will be the backboards with the weights on. Sort of like that's only a study. it's ready for the second stage of painting after drying time, but it don't matter. Then adorned with rope, further adorned with ropes, there's a hanging system with the hooks and the rusty fixings, the weights and the things the fishermen have salvaged. These will be useful, but I wanted orange ones, these floats. It don't matter, can't be choosers. So, main stack to go through, it's working out about 3 pots a day to do it properly. Attention to detail. Selected found objects and retrievals, all making sense now, it's time to come together. So, typical selected locations and landscape context from Port Mulgrave up to South Gare at the moment, but we'll extend that later depending on what sort of show we do. Lot more cleaning to do today, so make an effort at let's get on with it. Endeavour. So what? Mate of mine started, well, a new friend, we made a new artist friend round here. He calls it applied art, but I prefer combines and assemblages. See, it's not just to do with all this environmental theme and saving the dolphins and the seals. I'll post a few horrible photos later of how they end up when they get entangled. So they're doing their job, and we're one of the outlets of getting rid of the dangers. So rods, all sorts. All these could be a nightmare. For example, we've had a few anchors from the foreshore, if you can make it out. And you imagine what sort of damage that would do to a surfer. You know, if you're unlucky enough, he or she were unlucky enough to come across that as they're washed in by the strong tides. It don't bear thinking about, does it? So we're just doing our little bit and trying. He called it up. Some people see waste, others see an opportunity. So that was a nice thing to say. So I prefer hybrid form sculpture paintings. That's something I coined, rather than applied art. I mean, it's a compliment of sorts. Same shame we can't see again. A bit of sea mist. So in my notes I wrote something like, mostly a painter. The two of them are a partner towards an overall sensation. There's framing costs, so it's minimising framing costs. There's the environmental aspect, and the partners towards an overall sensation. And there's the environmental use value. It's not just about the aesthetic, and it's educational, depending on what your background is, how young or old or experienced you are in postmodern art and things like that. So yeah, it's crossing boundaries between painting and sculpture and hybrid form ways of managing this sort of waste in partnership with charities and things. So we make a small donation for a big load like this, and it helps pay for their diesel. Like I used to support Hunt Sabs by giving them 10% of any sales, any profit anyway, after our costs, studio rent and everything like that. So this is going to form part of a YouTube video, all conjoined together, and finally I've learned how to do a 16:9 format, so just to confuse myself even further. Next door tree, that's interesting, isn't it? It'll fall one day, that, but I don't know.